Game 1 started the way that every game with the Hylissang Pike starts, with Hilly going in level 1, and then going in level 1 again, getting Gumayusi extremely low and trading his flash for the Aphelios's, forcing him to recall and drop waves to avoid getting dived at level 2. Despite this action-packed level 1, First Blood would actually get picked up mid-lane by the Mad Lions, as Ona misread Niski's flash, deciding to go over the wall, which actually took him out of the fight, allowing Elyoya and Niski to 2v1 Faker before finishing off the Kha'Zix. With the pressure of a snowballed mid-jungle, Mad moved towards the bot lane to dive Guma before his flash cooldown came back. A great hook from Hilly, however, meant that Aphelios actually died before the wave even crashed, and it was then a simple matter to take down Carrier as well. Not 2 minutes later, Elyoya returned bot lane, and a missed E flash from Hilly didn't matter as Guma accepted his fate again. T1 started up the Herald, expecting Mad to do the dragon after killing their bot lane, but Mad were having none of it, and Faker was now stuck with nowhere to go as the Lions claimed him and the objective. Zeus gave T1 the tiniest glimmer of hope as he found a solo kill onto Chasey at 11 minutes after he stepped too far up without flash. As the only part of the map that wasn't falling apart for T1, they began to target Chasey, but he managed to take one with him under his tower. He wasn't able to make it happen again, however, after a deep TP from Faker forced him into the river, where he was then run down by Ona. Wanting to get the most out of the situation, T1 forced into the mad jungle, but with Guma needing to flash and Gale Force forwards to secure the kill onto Hylissang, there was no way out, as Kazi arrived and sent him and Faker back to the fountain once more. T1 looked absolutely crazy as they decided to contest the second dragon while down 7,500 gold, but Guma God showed why he's earned that nickname, stepping up to destroy Mad after stacking his chakrams on the dragon. Kazi managed to stop the play from being a complete disaster, finding kills onto Guma and Carrier, but then got shut down by Zeus, who had hung around on a sliver of HP. By this point, Niski was able to TP back to the fight, and it seemed as though Mad would regain control, but Faker nailed the hook around the wall onto Elyoya, collecting his shutdown as well, before trading his life for Niski's. The next momentum swing came at 19 minutes, when Faker flashed over the wall to engage on Mad without a moment's hesitation to secure 2 more kills for the LCK second seed. Mad started to hit the panic button, and tried to rush Baron as they could feel the game starting to slip away, but this only made things worse as Ona stole the Nash. The game slowed down as T1 were happy to sit back and keep scaling, and Mad found it harder and harder to look for plays until some sloppy pathing from Zeus cost him his life. Desperate to look for more, Hilly flash hooked Guma, but with no one in range to capitalize on it, the rest of Mad scrambled to follow him up, but Guma escaped before turning around to wipe the Lions off the rift. The game had now completely slipped through Mad's fingers, and Faker decided it was time to bring the game to a close after a hook onto Kazi started off the game-ending fight for T1. Mad got first blood again in game 2, but despite trying to leave the kill for Kazi, Ignite would give it to Hylissang. At 4 minutes, the saga of T1 turning around Mad's plays began, as what looked like a guaranteed kill onto Faker could not be picked up by the out-of-mana Lissandra before Ona flashed forwards to finish off Elyoya. Then, after spotting Hylissang moving up the river, T1 collapsed towards mid lane to respond to the potential dive, and while Mad did manage to take down Faker, it cost them Hilly and Elyoya. Later, realizing that the Graviton would allow Guma to kite him out, Hilly smartly swapped his attention onto Carrier, but Kazi's E-flash only hit 2 feathers onto the Lulu, missing out on the root and some damage which would prove to be the difference maker as Carrier barely survived the Featherstorm and Guma stepped up to kill Hylissang. Again, the sense of desperation was clear to see as Hilly went far too deep trying to make something happen for the Lions, and the play was easily turned around by T1 with Ona's Maokai ult locking everyone down, resulting in a 3-for-0 fight. Eventually Mad realized they could not contest T1 head on and had to play on the opposite side of the map, and while they did eventually kill Faker after destroying the top tower, the rest of T1 just headed for the Mad base, taking 3 towers, an inhibitor, and another kill onto Kazi. T1 then showed Mad how to secure a Baron, holding it 2,500 HP before bursting it once Carrier had got in range to polymorph Elyoya, giving him no chance at all at a steal. Mad gave it one last roll of the dice as Chasey TP'd behind T1, but the fight wasn't even close as Gumayusi's health bar barely dropped below 100%, and a clean 5-for-0 would end game 2. T1 came into game 3 looking to crush souls, as a creative Scion level 1 ended bot lane then and there, as Zeus sacrificed himself to dive Kazi and Hilly, knowing that whatever advantage Chasey got top lane would not be enough to rescue the game. If the level 1 hadn't finished the bot lane, it was over a few minutes later when Ona came back, and what could have been a close fight became very one-sided as soon as Elyoya's Lee Sin Q hit nobody, and T1 pounced, claiming 2 more kills. Mad had one final card to play as Niski Twisted Fate ulted bot almost as soon as he could, but the Lions simply did not have enough damage to make the play happen before Faker arrived to clean house. T1's grip on the game was so firm that they were looking to break Mad's base at 16 minutes, when a kill onto Hylissang for Guma's Jinx got him excited, which allowed him and Faker to chase down Kazi and Elyoya as well. Chasey recalled to try and defend his Nexus for a little bit longer, but he had no chance of stopping T1 from ending the game in under 17 minutes.